me welcome Ms. Lynda Marthinus.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm a walker. I'm a drama queen, and unapologetically so. So, first of all, I need to thank God for me being here. You heard Taki mention something about welcome back. I'm not going to go into that because unlike other events where it's all about me, this one isn't about me. What this is, but the fact that I'm here says a lot about the power beyond and the need for always needing assistance no matter who you are. Right. What's interesting, though, and I'm going to be walking, by the way, this is like a table tennis match, right? Because I've observed that all of you are angling left or right. So I'm going to allow that neck to move. It is argued that the cornerstone of any economy is the SMME ecosystem. But sadly, though, it is also evidently clear that the most unsung heroes of any economy is the SMME ecosystem. It's like, does this balance? Oh, you can, thank you. Okay. Does this make sense? Right? So when you look at a company like a Vodacom, and as Taki already gave my age away by telling me I've been here, or Lebo gave my age away by telling you I've been here since 1996, and I know I don't look old, right? What people don't realize is that when a company says they are purpose-led, when a company says they are purposeful, and when a company says they put their name behind SMMEs, you go back in history to test those waters. In 1996, Vodacom launched its first SMME creation program. Launched it. Do we get applause for it? No. Do people look back and say, what did you do? How did you do it? How many SMMEs did you bring into a new techno environment? The answer from 1996 to 2000 was 6,000 SMMEs across 9 provinces. Okay? Albeit this in the retail environment. But it didn't stop there. Whilst we might have been slow off the mark in terms of the procurement of tech goods and services by SMMEs, one has to also understand were there SMMEs in this new tech world, right? Cell phones came in 1994. What did SMMEs, what did any of you who were around in 1994 understand about cell phones? Me, I knew it irritated me because before it came here, it was in Europe. And every Italian didn't realize it was called a mobile phone. So they would be walking, the phone would ring, and they would stop. And I'd be like, excuse me, it's a mobile phone. You keep on walking. Right. The SMME environment in the ICT sector was very slow on take-up. Okay? Because who did we have? We had Telkom, no one else. Then came MTN and Vodacom at the same time. And thankfully, we came along because the ecosystem started changing. And it was slow in building, in bringing people along and training them. Unfortunately, over time, by 2003, 2005, we saw the eradication of SMMEs across the entire ICT ecosystem. right? So whether you were in broadcasting, IT, because remember the old IT trick in 1995? Everybody had to learn how to do DOS version something. Sorry, I'm really old. And learn how to do the most simplest type of coding and thought they were freaking geniuses, right? That's how SMME businesses started in the ICT sector. And then you had the radio in the broadcasting side. But in the telecoms, in the communications area, this was a ring-fence reservation for Europe, the Americas, right? Even China started late. So move forward to when BEE comes into play. And the irony is, BE comes in 2007, and every Dick, Tom, and his dog is knocking on my door because they want to come and teach me about enterprise development. Sorry, you're teaching the person who started it in 1996 about enterprise development. Gave me the greatest of pleasure, of course, to always tell people, I'm sorry Vodacom scores full points for enterprise development because we did not wait for a law to happen to realize that no economy can survive unless you place your money behind SMMEs. Okay? We didn't need a law to tell us that. Because the ethos, and this is when you realize how passionate I am about my own company, the ethos upon which we were founded was not always to do, not only do because of a letter of a law, but more importantly, and most importantly, the spirit and intent. Okay? So when we run these supplier development programs, we're not doing it for BE tick box points. Okay? Because what's interesting, this event makes up 1% of our total annual investment in supplier development from an expenditure point of view, rands and cents. But arguably, when you look at the value, the intrinsic value that is aggregated out of a program such as this with the Innovator Trust, it is immeasurable. Currently, we spend, give and take, about 10, maybe 12 billion rand is what's going to SMME suppliers. In a year, by the way, that's not over a decade. Okay? During COVID, and I know Tashlin spoke about it earlier, during COVID, if anybody's getting drunk by my walking, please put your hand up. But I am a walker. During COVID, the one thing that Shamil Jusuf, CEO of this great Vodacom group company, said, no SMME will die on Vodacom's watch, who is a supplier to Vodacom. And what he meant by that was we have an early payment system where qualifying SMMEs get paid within, on average, within 5 working days from invoice. Now, can you imagine, Tashlin spoke about SMMEs that were dying, closing doors, all of this. And he said, I don't care how difficult it will be for us, but this is the one thing we will honor during COVID. And we did. Okay? And it aligns to the ethos that the Innovator Trust did during COVID, and Tashlin spoke about the PPEs, all of these things. So when we partner, when we decide where our money's going to go, it's not a partnership because it is a commercial deal. It's not a partnership based on a legislative tool that gets expelled upon us. It is a partner based on synergy, commitment, and passion to always do what is right. So I'm going to end now and say, our supplier, our SMME focus is huge. We have up to about 8, 9 defined supplier development programs. You guys here belong to one of what I believe, one of, barring the rand value, most valuable of our programs. Because what it does is it provides the tools for readiness for the future. But in saying that, I'm going to challenge every single SMME in this room today and online, even though I haven't been looking at you guys online much, to ask the question, am I willing to accept assistance so that I can grow to the fullest of my potential? Because the one thing I don't want any of you to ever think about is that these programs are there because of a law. Remember what I've told you, what we did from 1996. There were no laws telling us to do that, okay? These programs are because as a truly South African company who made it possible for the 1994 elections to be connected to communication before we opened our doors commercially, we are truly a South African company. But we can't make that statement if we leave South African economies behind. So at that, I'm going to thank you for allowing me my 10 minutes of cray-cray. For those of you who don't understand, because you're too old, it means crazy. For the woke kids in the room, you're probably going to tell me cray-cray is old. But I'd like to, on my final note, wish all of you the very best. I'm proud of the fact that we are recognizing the unsung heroes, because no longer are you not being seen. No longer are you not being heard. And I'm going to challenge all of you. Stretch yourself to your fullest. I want to thank the Innovator Trust and my supplier development team, which, by the way, half of Vodacom executives are here. And if you think I'm joking, if I said, could all Vodacom people put their hands up, you'd find that half the room is Vodacom. And what this basically just says is that either they don't have work, or they are so committed to this that they dedicate their valuable time to be present. And at that, I thank you. I wish you a very good conference going forward, Supply Chain and Innovator Trust. And to all those receiving awards, and even those who are not, thank you for allowing us to live a true purposeful and purpose-led way. Thank you.